You know that thing where you get an amazing pair of shoes at a really great price and want to tell everyone about it? Yeah, so do we. Here at Designer Shoe Warehouse, we'll give you something to brag about, like the latest styles from brands you love, or the trends everyone's obsessing over, or shoes that make you feel like, well, you. So go ahead, show off a little. Find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. Head to your DSW store or DSW.com today. DSW, let us surprise you.
I don't know if it's like a Pygmalion type of thing, but Robert's becoming me. And I was having a conversation with Robert, like a normal human being. And he's like, can we just record this already? And I was like, if it's not being recorded, then what he says doesn't matter. Right here on RulaskaThoughts. Welcome all to the penultimate episode of the series finale of this of RulaskaThoughts. Yeah.
Oh.
I've already told you this is the end of the show.
Oh no, that I'm fine with. I was just trying to follow the logic of the penultimate episode of the series
you're
finale.
right. It's the penultimate episode of the show. I should have written it down. I did think of a good show for me and you. And I was like, oh, that's the show. That's the show.
I mean, but I do like talking about Drag Race.
It had to do with Drag Race.
Okay.
Yeah. It had to do with Drag Race. But it just wasn't like, you know what? Let me explain to everybody what's going on here. First of all, hi, welcome to RulaskaThoughts. That's Robert Mata.
Hey.
Coming to us from the 30-mile zone of Los Angeles.
Shut the fuck up. I'm so sick of you.
That's what it's called in the industry for people who don't know.
What's the intersection, mama?
There's a 30-mile zone, and it's for like, Robert can correct me because he used to work in this field, but like, of like when they have to pay people who work on the film, like their normal just rate, and doesn't matter, you have to go somewhere. But if you go outside that 30-mile zone, then you have to get in like a hotel room or something like that, right, Robert? Or
it's about the distance, how you classify employees as local or near or distant.
Yeah.
And then that changes their rate. It changes like what they're entitled to in terms of per diem, like the whole employment law of it all.
That's all I'm talking about, Robert.
Yeah, isn't it?
We are in the 30-mile zone of Los Angeles.
Why'd you say I used to work in that field? I'm very much still in entertainment.
Well, no. I don't want to. I said that simply so I don't give away, you're new. I'm very careful to talk about where you work now. I'm not talking about where you work.
You clearly are, yeah. I don't think anyone cares. So,
So this has already been addressed on the show, but well, look, because even though this is the first time addressing it because it comes out last, this has been addressed. But we didn't do the big takeaway because Lori had a personal family emergency. And so Robert and I were texting Friday night, and I wanted to tell you, and I was playing my power wash simulator, and I was like toying with the idea of making a funny video how to tell you. But then I was like, I don't care that much. I'm not going to do it. I'll save it for something else. I will tell you this, Power Wash Simulator, the game I'm obsessed with lately. My cozy game. I just wanted to know how much progress I had made because they just give you a new project to wash all the time, right?
Okay, I saw one with like a dinosaur. You could wash.
Yeah. It's a playground. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, it looked like a real T-Rex.
Oh, it might have been. Hold on. So that wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. So I'm like, well, let me see. Let me look at where I am on how many I've done. And I'll go to Wikipedia and the wiki and see where it is. Turns out there's a whole fucking story to this thing. I'm starting to notice it now, but it has a storyline.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know it either. I just thought I was power washing a house,
Or a T-Rex.
Yeah, because you know what? The playground one wasn't a T-Rex. The playground one was like a Stegosaurus or something.
Well, I love that. I don't know why, but I do. I'm mostly familiar with Power Wash Simulator because my modern version of like walking around like Blockbuster and just finding something to do for the evening is going on the eShop on the Switch or the PlayStation Store on the PS5 and just like going to the sale section and like seeing what I can get for cheap.
Yeah.
And Power Wash Simulator will have, I kid you not, like 50 entries for a variety of DLC packages that you can get. And I'm tired of having to scroll through them.
Yeah. They have a lot
Move
of
it
DLC.
so I can find a new little farming game to play for 10 hours.
Yeah. There's a ton of DLC for Power. I haven't even gotten to that. I'm still in the main game. And I haven't even done Power Wash Simulator 2. But here's the deal. This is what Power Wash Simulator... I might not ever need to get Power Wash Simulator 2, even though I probably will. Is Power Wash Simulator 1 does something very smart. Is once you finish a project, it goes into another category and you can go revisit it and rewash it anytime you want. So... Because I find it very meditative.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the core psychological explanation for why people love that game.
Why do white people have to love it?
I didn't say white. Why it gotta be white?
And so I'm like, oh, well, I could just go. I've done it a few times actually when I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go and, clean. What did I clean recently? That was really fun. I cleaned it again. I don't remember what it was. The one I'm doing right now, which is a big giant bathroom.
A toilet, Donald Trump?
No, is a giant bathroom. That one's really fun. I was already telling myself I'm going to come back and clean this one again, just for fun.
The way you yearn for labor.
I know.
In your little disability moment.
I know. Anyway, Robert Mata, let's, before we get to the show, which Robert already, I asked Robert, this is when Robert said, let's just record already. He went with his, I don't know what he'd call it, situationship. What are you? Can we classify anything?
No, and my mom's very displeased by this.
Because she listens to the show, or you just told her?
No, she gave me a whole lecture on my drive home, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago, where she asked me to define the relationship, and I was like, I don't know if we're really there yet. And she just kept, like, vocally pursing her lips and saying little things, and I was like, oh, you seem displeased, Angela. But yeah, I've been getting, and then I had a tennis match with a friend last week, and the whole time he was, like, belaboring the point. And I just didn't know that so many people were invested in
but don't you think
me not doing my thing.
Don't you think in this modern era, the very nature of what you're saying classifies the relationship as a situationship? It's almost like situationship now becomes that catch-all classification for when the person or the people involved refuse to identify or classify the relationship?
Sure. I think it's more, in this particular case, just like a formal dating period without having like defined exclusivity and like title bestowing on the situation.
Now,
which I guess is a situationship. But a situationship to me implies intentional distance and or like a vague sense of, I don't know if he likes me that much. I don't know if he can commit. We're not really bothered by those issues. We're just trying to slowly re-enter a relationship after having already failed one before.
But don't you think, this is becoming now, what did I call it before the show? Oh, just between us thoughts. Is, how do I put this without getting too into the weeds? A lot of us went through the first breakup with you, right? And it's one of these classic cases where I'm getting to see, almost witness, how do we as your friends, then how do you bridge that gap? How do you maneuver this where now we're supposed to be pro this person? How do we do the algebra on that, the calculus?
I find it interesting, and this is not a direct sort of criticism, but I do find it interesting how many people are injecting and inserting themselves into a relationship that I haven't defined because I'm still navigating those things and deciding if I want to go through the labor of reintroducing him. And even still,
or introducing him. How many
you
people
never even met the guy.
What?
Exactly. You never even met the guy. My mom never met the guy. Most of my friends never met him, maybe more than once or twice.
But doesn't that speak
it's all kind of a nebulous concept?
Doesn't that
really
speak to the very problem of the first of 1.0?
No, not really. Okay. Not to me, at least.
Yeah. Oh, well, look, as long as you're happy.
Thank you, Mom and friend I played tennis with, and Jose Betance, and other commenters and peanut gallery
Wait, did we take the
members.
break? We didn't take the break, huh?
Well, no, we've just been gabbing, which is why I said we might as well turn on the microphone because we'll just talk for 15 minutes about whatever.
Refreshing wild cherry cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
K-pop Demon Hunters, Haja Boys breakfast meal and Huntrix meal have just dropped at McDonald's. They're calling this a battle for the fans. What do you say to that, Rumi?
It's not a battle. So glad the Saja boys could take breakfast and give our meal the rest of the day.
It is an honor to share.
No, it's our honor.
It is our larger honor.
No, really. Stop.
You can really feel the respect in this battle. Pick a meal to pick a side.
At participating McDonald's while supplies last.
You know you need fiber for a healthy gut, but do you actually know how to get it? Quaker's been serving up fiber since 1877, with over 100 great-tasting, good source of fiber options to choose from. Whether you like old-fashioned oats, instant oatmeal, granola, or oatmeal squares, Quaker makes it delicious. So good. Get your fiber with Quaker. Shop Quaker's good source of fiber products at a store near you.
And we are back. Because it is the first show I'm recording today, and I want to save as much energy as I can for recap. I'm going to say even less than usual, especially with something like this where there was not. I mean, there's no narrative to really latch onto and really talk about. But I want to get Robert's thoughts on the Lalaparuza, and we're going to get him in a second. I don't know if we talked about this on the show, but Robert and I have a friend who famously, and by famous I mean only to me and Robert, criticizes me and Robert for being negative about RuPaul's Drag Race. That they might not even listen to us because we're so negative about the show. Meanwhile, I can't think of any major Drag Race podcast that isn't negative about the show, but okay. And I forgot, I don't know if he's talked to Robert, but this friend has called me and told me that he's negative about the show now.
This friend owes me one because I sold him a Coachella ticket for face value when those babies are running for twice price right now.
Why?
Because I said I was going to, and I'm an annoyingly good friend.
No. Why are they going for so much?
I think because of the Justin Bieber of it all, I suppose.
Was he last minute edition?
No, he was definitely announced in the lineup, but people buy their tickets before the lineup's announced. And then I guess a lot of people have nostalgia for that, and the rumor is he's supposed to bring out the Jonas Brothers or something like that.
Because I saw a TikTok, I've seen a few actually, about this trend that they're seeing at Coachella this year. There's a couple of trends. I'm very curious about this because I'm trying to get to the source of this, the bottom of this. But a couple of things that I've seen are about how you're seeing a lot of creators on TikTok who are doing that. They clearly have some sort of FOMO. And I think they were hoping for either like VIP passes or free passes or something. They didn't get them. So they're making up these myriad excuses as to why they're not at Coachella this year.
The rain was a big one.
Oh, was that a big one?
They were trying to say that, we can't go because it's going to be a swamp. It's going to be terrible. I was like, that sounds great. Get a pair of galoshes and stomp around.
Yeah. Something I think that a lot of people, and so this relates to the next one because there's a bridge between them here. A lot of them from, I've been seeing from people who own Airbnbs.
Oh, it's been a disaster.
And about how this is from one of the creators I saw. This is why I took his post seriously. is he has Airbnbs that he rents out in the area, but he intentionally avoids Coachella.
Sure.
So he blocks it out. Just one day, he blocks out, he said, the Saturday, so that no one will rent it but he'll get regular people who do. And so he doesn't lose out on that much money. But he was saying that he's seen a trend among his friends who also have Airbnbs out there about essentially there's some, and I know Palm Springs and the surrounding areas are very strict about their Airbnb stuff. And they won't let you have more than 6 people in a house, but that they're starting to see people like are packing them in.
Oh yeah.
And he was saying that he's hearing a lot about these like Coachella moochers, and both parties, the TikTok creators who aren't going and the moochers, are all claiming that their Airbnbs are being canceled. There's a supposed like mysterious Airbnbs being canceled epidemic going on.
I'm hearing reports of the same.
Yeah, but he's saying he thinks most of it's not true. He thinks it's all lies for different reasons.
So you're telling me an Airbnb host who intentionally manipulates the situation so he doesn't have to deal with the mania of Coachella is making statements to protect other Airbnb hosts who have tried to make a buck
He's
off
trying
of
to
Coachella.
warn them. He's like, hey, keep an eye on your Airbnbs, because you're probably going to see, you might get in trouble. You're going to see people trying to squeeze in 20 people into a house.
Well, that's for damn sure.
Yeah. And so I had a friend, I still have a friend. This is what his business is. He owns a bunch of, short-term rental properties, and a lot of them in Coachella Valley and Palm Springs. Well, actually not Palm Springs. He's out of Palm Springs. I guess they're too hard. But when he had a place in Palm Springs, he had this really nice place in Palm Springs. My friend and I got to stay there, and like literally the next guests out in Palm Springs was in the news. It was this rapper named Lil Xan.
I've heard of that name. Wait, didn't he die?
I don't know. I don't know anything about Lil Xan. And Lil Xan stayed right after me and got in huge trouble, and the police had to come. And so Palm Springs came down on my friend, and my friend was like, fuck this, and sold the place. Because Palm Springs is just so hard on you. And so now he just stays out in Joshua Tree and Coach. Not stays, but he has properties out there. So I'm sure this is his like Black Friday, this and Stagecoach. But where's our friend staying right now in Coachella?
In a house with 19 other Mexicans.
Well, I think it's not much different from where he's living now. So,
so fucking rude. I know there's no point in belaboring this longer because everyone's like, who gives a fuck? But this is such a SoCal issue. It really boggles the mind how so many people on Instagram in the last 48 hours have been just begging, desperate to buy a pass. And it just astounds me how you had a full calendar year to buy a pass to an event you go to annually. And then 24 hours before, you're just posting multiple stories, reels, the little annoying ass note feature, just someone please sell me a pass. I'm like, how do you live your life that way?
I'll be honest with you, and I've always been like this. This sounds like a nightmare. I would never want to go. I
wanted to go this year. I haven't gone in several years, actually, but I had FOMO last year because so many fucking people flew in for it. And I was like, this sounds like a robber convention.
So why did you sell it?
I just wasn't feeling the lineup this year. The headliners were all deeply disinteresting to me, even though there is a rumor there's going to be a Selena hologram, which would be, I think, we'll hear our friend sob to us on the phone if that is the truth. But regardless, everyone on that lineup,
what are the odds he's going to bump into someone who tells him that we need to bring it to the runway back?
At least 37%.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, everyone on that lineup who I would have wanted to see, I've already seen. I'm getting to that age.
Well, Sabrina Carpenter was the headliner last night, right?
Oh, I don't give a fuck about that.
And so Bieber's tonight. Here's the deal.
And
I think people are going to be very disappointed unless he fucking cleaned up his act. Because I've seen, not hit live perform, but I've seen clips of Bieber performing recently, and he's really not giving.
He never gave.
I feel, there is this peak Bieber period, this peak, right?
No, I was like 16, 17, 18 when that was happening, so I was deeply disinterested from the get.
When was the time, and it was also when he was peak hotness, the one when he came out with Heidi Klum era, that one.
I haven't the foggiest, girl.
That era is peak Bieber era, right? Since then, especially with the Hailey Bieber marriage of it all, and he's just so unhappy and whatnot, he's just, I'm not going to say anything, but like, he's a mess, right? Bieber Winehouse, all of a sudden.
Damn.
Look, I said it. Thank you. All right. Lalaparuza, give us your thoughts.
Well, you brought up our friend to say that we sometimes speak negatively about the show. I don't know if my response is really negative. One of them certainly is. And I'll start there. The first 10, 15 minutes of the episode, I was like, holy fuck, enough of this Sierra Mist. I really can't watch any, and I don't have to, thank God, any more confessionals of her flailing her wrists and arms around and trying to be an interesting personality and basically screaming, look at me, I'm so interesting and unique and artistic. It was really grating to have like 5 confessionals of her in a row. Meanwhile, someone like Vita or Athena got like nary a confessional or two. It just, there's so much focus on her and her awful, annoying Carrie look and her subsequent conversation with Jane that I just was sort of fading before the Lalaparuza even began.
Okay.
I don't like this queen. I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. What's funny is when you look, I wish I could go back and someone could show me a boy confessional look of her before I even saw one frame of her on TV.
She's wearing that annoying fucking hat.
Yeah, she's just like Molly Ringwald, in
fucking hat. I hate it. I know it's shallow. I hate it on anyone ever. And there's always almost one queen a season who wears it.
I think Molly Ringwald and Blossom, right? And she's and she's dressed like that, and she and I could have told you just from one shot of her in the confessional everything about her, and I would have been 100% accurate.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And look, here's the deal too. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to say on recap. So, okay. If you're going to do anything specific to that time, just realize that by the time the show airs, it'll be so dated. So to reference the substance is like, girl, we're so done with the substance.
The editors must share my distaste for her because they specifically had her in yet another confessional saying, all these other girls can dance and buck and good for them, but I bring concept. And then it cut to her in the substance-inspired look, and it's very much someone else's concept and one of the most popular gay references of last year and maybe the year prior. It was kind of camp. And to me, she didn't look much. I guess it was the substance, but being a child of my generation, I saw the Fugleys from Spy Kids.
Any other big thought? I don't know what you're talking about. Any other big thoughts on the RulaskaThoughts?
You don't know one of the greatest Latino films of the early 2000s?
No, I don't know. I could go on about it, though, but I don't know it.
I'm sure you could. Actually, I don't even like Spy Kids. But anyways, as far as the beginning of the episode, yeah, it was kind of grating to me, the whole thing.
I mean, the thing in the workroom all of them together?
Having all of them come back together and have a break from filming and generally have, I think, a better rapport with each other than they did during the season. I think the energy was high, and it just sort of got lost on Sierra Mist having to tell everyone how different and unique she was and clawing for screen time. And I thought Jane, on the flip side, came off much more funny and enjoyable than she did during the competition.
Any other thoughts?
On the whole episode, or just
whatever you want to give thoughts on?
I guess actually on the same general note about Queen's brief transformation / evolutions from the first round of filming, I thought Kenya had a lot more confidence in the workroom than she had before. I thought that it boded well. I think she was opening her eyes a little bit more when she spoke, which was all pretty good. I still don't love her performance style or I was unfortunately let down when she exited, and her exit line was yet again, does the question still stands, can you please her?
Yeah.
Is that really so funny to crack up everyone when she said it like 10 times?
Well, also, too, it wasn't like she was given the name at birth and she's now making a play on the name she was given. She chose this name. It would be like if I said, my new name is Late for Dinner, right? And then I go, we have to ask, you can call me anything, but don't call me Late for Dinner.
That doesn't even make
I know,
any
I'm not saying it
sense.
makes sense, but I'm just saying, like, well, I'm the one that chose that name.
Who was the queen who said it's time for dinner? Ms. Cracker.
Oh, that's right. Because she had a cooking show too, right?
I
I don't think that's why she said it, but no, wait, it might be.
I feel like it was like a YouTube series reference.
But I think it was her YouTube series.
And then I think like two seasons before, I think Kimchi for some reason got a lot of praise online just for saying wins dinner, like offhandedly. But you know how Kimchi fans are, so.
So, well, let me ask you questions because because here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go, all right.
There are no notes, girl. It's just a bunch of uninspiring
I'm going to be like
lip
this. I'm going to
syncs.
be like, all right, well, let's call it a day here. And you're like, hold on, I have all these notes. And I'm like, wait, what? I kept asking you about notes.
No, I know. This time I actually don't really have notes.
Then let me ask you some questions. Leading questions.
Yeah, please.
What were your
Help a
thoughts
brother out.
on? And I'm talking about not just the final lip sync. I'm talking about the run, all her lip syncs of this Mia Star and her performance.
Nothing about Mia Star has changed in my mind. I still see a queen who I would definitely had seen in San Francisco in like 2010, who's performing like, you know, one of those sort of standard numbers, like. Exactly. It's not bad. It's just not like spectacular. She has really great energy, and she also did have to lip sync 4 times in a row, which is pretty exhausting. So she definitely has stamina. I just don't see a superstar. I just see a regular queen, a regular brunch queen.
I'm sorry if this sounds repetitive, but I don't know to what extent this is going to be discussed on recap or anything. You know, it's the nature of how we're doing Rulaska Thoughts now. I think during her first run, I was giving her the benefit of the doubt that my lack of enthusiasm over her lip syncs was really because she was saving stuff. She was holding it in so that when she really needed it, she could, you know, really show off what she can do. And I thought that maybe she even saved it with Kenya because she thought, oh, well, Kenya's not going to send me home. And then Kenya sent her home. So we never really saw what she could do. Because we saw that Mia can dance. I mean, obviously she has the CV alone just to show that she can dance, you know. But also we saw her dance in the workroom when she was doing some famous dance. I don't remember what it was, right?
The Slave for You choreo.
Yes. And so we know the girl can dance. But then she'd go out to the stage, and I'm going to say that this happened on this too. I felt there was a lot of Emperor Wears No Clothes, where I thought the performance she gave was good. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't to the level of expectation they had hyped up because of her background. And I thought it was like I didn't see anything that, you know, your average skilled drag queen that they could do as well, right? And again, I would have said, oh, it's because she's older, but like she could have done more that didn't require like, you know, like flying into the air and doing one of those fucking goddamn King Kong Cobra, whatever her name is, barrel rolls. And what was her name?
Queen Kong.
Okay.
And I was watching the Mario Galaxy movie, and when they did their inevitable barrel roll reference, I laughed, but not for Star Fox, for you, girl. For you.
And this but I think I figured it out last night. And again, apologies if I go into this on the recap. is, or went on this on recap, is I actually think now she's not good at choreo. She's good at dancing. And so...
Interesting.
Yes. And so I liken it to myself. And here's how.
I thought the complete opposite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that she needs like choreo in order
That's what I'm saying.
Move properly.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
yeah. We're saying
continue.
the same
I'm cutting
thing.
off.
I'm saying, like, for instance, I can cook really well, right? I have the basic, not even the basic. I have, for a home chef, very good skills in the kitchen, knife skills, all that stuff, right? Very, very good. So yeah, I can take a recipe and cook the recipe in the exact way, maybe even beyond what the recipe writer intended for your average home cook to do. I can do that, right? But I cannot and could not and never will be able to be a person who thinks like a chef and creates a recipe out of thin air. I just don't have that wiring in my brain, you know? So I can cook the recipe, but I can't design a recipe. I can't come up with a recipe. I don't think, oh, this would be, what if I did that? Dream? Nope, can't do it. And I think it's the same thing with this Mia Starr. I think she's a great, I'll even give her technical dancer. But when it comes to coming up, because she even said, I've choreographed Call Me Mother and gave the most, not mid, it was a fine performance. But when she said that, I was expecting to be gagged at her Call Me Mother. And I was like, oh, I mean, who'd she do it against?
I don't remember. I do remember that she pointed her lips as if she was RuPaul herself.
Was it Jane Doe?
Against Call Me Mother?
It was Jane Doe.
I just watched it less than an hour ago.
It was Jane Doe.
They all kind of blur together, frankly.
And Jane Doe held her own, and Jane Doe can't dance.
Her lip sync with Discord was the best of the night, I thought.
But I'm just saying because she brought something else to it. But she wasn't doing the stunts and stuff. So she can't do that, right? Which is fine. And she held her own against Mia. I'm going to tell you what. I don't know what I'm saying. Recap. I don't know who won between Mia and Mandy Mango. You could make a very good argument that Mandy won.
Mia would probably be the first one to do it because she said it in several episodes this season.
I'm talking about, didn't Mia go up against Mandy Mango for round one?
She did, but in the episode that Mandy Mango was eliminated and the episodes following, and in this one, she's the first one to say, Mandy Mango was robbed. Fandom, please like me because I share your opinion.
Yeah, and so I'm like, where they're talking about her like she is like the dancing diva of Texas herself. And she's just fine, maybe good, but like
We're being so negative today, but also I like her. Kind of like last week when we were going through Darlene Mitchell, the problem with Darlene Mitchell, the trouble with Darlene Mitchell.
How do you solve
we
a problem
like her
with
as a
Darlene?
baseline, but there are still things where I'm like, well, this isn't a 10 out of 10 spectacular queen like I'm being sold. And that's my same opinion of Mia. I like the girl. She's clearly talented at dancing, but I think we share the opinion that nothing's super gaggy about punching the air, stomping your feet, and raising your shoulders and flipping your hair.
Yeah, it's very weird, you know. And so like that was my big takeaway, since we didn't do a big takeaway from the show last night. I'm sure I have other ones, but I'm sure I said that on recap. I'm going to rewatch it before we do recap. I don't do recap for another 4.5 hours.
Well, it's also kind of on me, I think, for not prioritizing watching this episode in public, because Lalaparuzas are definitely intended to be watched in an environment where you're feeding off of everyone else's energy. When you're in bed alone after a very, very, very fucking long work week, you know, you're not, at least I'm not, in the exact headspace to be enjoying, what was it, 6, 7, 8 lip syncs in a row.
You know what? I'll take back what I said. It wasn't a bad idea to have the RuPaul songs, but I do beg to differ on some of the songs they chose. We needed a response to Trinity.
Can we even say that?
We needed what's that one from season 5? No.
I Bring the Beat?
No. There's another song that they have that I really.
This is the beginning of the rest of July?
Yeah. Where was This Is the Beginning? We needed some of those songs. I didn't need some of the. Where's Old Friend Silver and New Friends Gold or whatever? Which way? I maybe got it backwards, but
oh, I love that Runway song from All Star 7. It's fabulous.
We
almost as good as the All Star edition of Sexy Sexy Drag Queen. 2 runway songs.
Sexy
for
Sexy
the ages.
Drag Queen. What about the one from season 7?
That's not really lip syncable,
not
though.
Born Naked, but the realness. Where was the realness?
The realness is it. Also, I love the realness too, bitch.
You know what somebody said on Reddit, and I have to agree, and it makes sense. Is it makes sense that these were all great lip sync songs because they were essentially written to be lip sync songs.
Like Adrenaline.
That would have been a great one.
Or Fly Tonight.
Yes, that would have been a great one too.
That whole album. But also like we're doing the gaze of a certain age thing where it's like, of course, the albums where we fell in love with Drag Race like 10, 15 years ago are the ones that we're holding on to. I don't think either of us would have been juiced if they sang or lip sync to Cake and Candy, you know, or a more recent RuPaul number.
Oh, what about? Oh, but that one you can't really lip sync to that one.
Instead, we got fucking Cha Cha Bitch again.
Oh, you know what, too? And I know, guys, this is the first thing this is my first time talking about the show since I've seen it. I didn't even do Big Takeaway, okay? So I'm sorry, this is the last thing you're hearing. How fucking diabolical is RuPaul? Fucking, I know this is how the industry can work, but fucking diabolical that on the title underneath it says, Cha Cha Bitch, RuPaul featuring A.B. Soto. And I was like, that was that motherfucker song that was a minor club hit, and she took it and said, hey, it should be featuring RuPaul. And she took it and said, hey, I like this. Let me, put myself on it. And now she's changed it to RuPaul featuring A.B. Soto.
This is news to me. I didn't know that was a minor club hit that was not associated with RuPaul first.
Oh, yeah. I got the whole tea from somebody who's friend with A.B. Soto. And A.B. Soto was really pissed.
I didn't know any of this.
This friend, I can say this. This friend worked for World of Wonder at the time and actually hooked the two of them up, right? Like RuPaul had said, oh, I really like this song. And my friend's like, oh, I know him. And hooked them up. And then RuPaul, was like, oh, and he was really excited. And then essentially just took the song, right? And, diabolical that she did that. And
yeah, because if you're someone like me who manually edits the names of songs on iTunes, still, I remove all the features from the title because I don't like the way it looks. So A.B. Soda wouldn't even be mentioned on my MP3.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, I get that. I guess I'm thinking more in terms of publishing splits and stuff. I will say I saw that Lucian Piani's resurfaced again,
I think I saw a Reddit post.
And but one of the things he said was that he's been sort of living off of his RuPaul royalties.
Yeah, because people still stream If I Dream to this day.
All those songs we just talked about, I think the vast majority of them are Lucian Piani.
I'm looking up on my phone which RuPaul songs I actually have purchased and downloaded.
Oh, I don't purchase any of them. They're on my Spotify stuff.
Oh, bitch. Jealous of My Boogie.
Where was Jealous of My Boogie?
The Gomi Something remix, Party. Champion, DJ Bunjo's Ollie remix. Not You Wear It Well. That one was played the fuck out. Though the stadium remix of Born Naked was fierce. That's the bulk of it.
Anyway, but diabolical that she did that. You never told
diabolical that I had to listen to it again, actually.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. I hate. What's funny? They had some of the songs I hate the most. I hate Peanut Butter And I hate
peanut butter as well.
I hate Cha-Cha Bitch.
Yeah, those two, and then the song that I have intentionally forgotten the title of that was heavily used in international seasons. I hate those ones.
What was that one?
Yeah. I told you I don't know.
But how does it go?
I don't remember either.
Oh. That reminds me of the time.
Yeah.
My friend and I were walking on the street in downtown, and this car, she's Indian, and the car pulled up to us and started saying something in Spanish. And
what?
Yeah.
What does it have to do with anything?
You'll listen. Hear me out.
She said, cha-cha bitch.
The cha-cha bitch. No, and then they drove away. And she said to me, what did they say? I speak Spanish. And I go, I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. And she said, I know, but I do. What did they say? And I said, I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. And then she was, I know, but I do. Tell me what they said. It was the dumbest conversation I've ever had in my entire life.
Like she wanted you to, like a parrot.
Yes.
Just
but I think,
say
but maybe thought
the sounds that you just heard.
I understand what she was saying, but if I don't speak the language, I spoke it less than I do now. How would I parrot those words? You have to have some comprehension, at least even phonetically, that you've heard those words before.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't.
Like imagine trying to repeat something you overheard from a friend talking on the phone in Vietnamese.
Exactly.
I have no idea what to say.
Exactly. Anyway, any other thoughts, Robert, before we call it a day?
I mean, it's kind of the episode I expected to watch. It was fine. It wasn't bad, despite, us kind of.
No, it was actually a very entertaining episode. Yeah, it was fun. And look, I'm with the rest of America when I say that that move that Juicy did where she took her top off at the top of the cartwheel or whatever she was, her handstand, was fantastic.
Definitely, yeah.
All right, well, Rob.
Though why'd she do it in her first lip sync and not her last one?
I only had two. Robert, you never told us what you thought of To Have or Have Not.
Oh, I mean, it's just Casablanca Part 2. Not even Part 2, not even sequel. It's the same film. But I have grown a strong appreciation for one Lauren Bacall because of it. I don't think I had really seen much of her in the past.
Oh, you were more of was it Folgers Crystals or what's the coffee one she was doing all the time? Those cracked out commercials.
Oh, she's the Folgers lady?
Yeah.
Well, looky here, Mr. Folgers.
Oh, she was beautiful though.
Well, you know what was also beautiful? The Egyptian Theater. I hadn't been there before.
Oh, you never been to the Egyptian?
Well, no, didn't it just open last year again?
Yeah, but it was open before that. There had been a terrible remodel before when the American Cinematheque owned it outright, or I don't know who owned it. And then the Netflix kind of tried to bring it back as much back to its original form as possible. But,
Well, I enjoyed the long promenade to the actual theater. I felt like I was in the Prince of Egypt. Like, let my people go.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Ford, Senior Awards Correspondent at Vanity Fair and co-host of Little Gold Men. Oscar season is upon us. Little Gold Men takes you behind the scenes of the race for the biggest prize in Hollywood.
There's 100 wrestlers in the room, but only one can be Oscar nominated.
Whether you're a movie lover or an industry buff, Little Gold Men from Vanity Fair has everything you need to know about this year's Oscar race. Follow and listen to Little Gold Men wherever you get your podcasts.